Canto that a man's body is created for self-realization. A woman's body is meant to distract a man from self-realization. I know. So this is what you're up against. But how to be respectful to the opposite sex and at the same time not to be implicated by it. Best is to keep one's distance. The sannyasa ashram seems to be, at least within the ISKCON society, more dangerous than the brahmacharya. Because sannyasis, some of them have disciples, and also women come for counseling. So there's women disciples, there's women that come for counseling and give direction. For brahmacharis, it's not required to do that. You don't have to counsel them. If they want counseling, if they want some shelter, then you can just refer them to someone else. Because it is a strict rule that you just don't talk to women. And you know, there's an old saying, and it works really nice: out of sight, out of mind. It's really true. Out of sight, out of mind. So, in dealing with the opposite sex, now of course, Prabhupada said that a man should see the women as gopis. Here's another one. This one's a little interesting. To see all women as gopis. What does that mean? Krishna enjoys the gopis, not you. He's gopi not. He's gopi janavada. We are something else. So Krishna, therefore, to try to enjoy in any way the opposite sex is to take the position of Krishna, which is the consciousness of the conditioned soul, is to try to be the Lord of all they survey, including whatever else is there. And so I'm just giving some of the basic points. Now the basic understanding is that the more you become Krishna conscious, or the more you somehow or other control your mind and senses, and restrict your senses from sense gratification, the more one can be somewhat stronger in that association. When we're loose in anything else, if we're loose in our eating, if we're loose in our sleeping, if we're loose in our speech, if we're loose in our activities, then we're going to be loose and inflicted in the association of ladies also. So it's like a package. The more you practice strictness throughout the day in all aspects of your spiritual practice, the stronger you become in all other aspects of this practice too. Maya is so subtle that we can't even see her. And she knows exactly your weakness. That's Maya. Maya knows your ins and outs. She knows where you're weak, and she's like what do we call it? A fighter in the ring. When you're fighting, if the opponent knows where you're weak, that's where they're going to hit. Because that's the most vulnerable spot for defeat. So Maya knows exactly where, and it's amazing. Have you ever had that experience where you seem to be getting attacked in the same place all the time? Well, that's because Maya, she knows when you're weak, and she does it in two ways. Not so much. She wants to test you to see how strong your Krishna consciousness is, and she also wants to help you strengthen that weak spot by showing you where it's weak. And by showing you where it's weak. So when you see you're being somewhat challenged in a certain way continuously, that's an indication that you have to work on that. Getting rid of this. So, but the basic principle is, as we become more and more purified at heart through the process of chanting the holy names and making advancement, Maya becomes less and less, what we say, strong. And Prabhupada was asked, why is Maya so strong? Prabhupada said, Maya is as strong as you are weak. So, you can't do anything about Maya. She's there in different forms, and that's our attractions and our allurements and our attachments. What we can do is to purify yourself and become more and more attached to Krishna. Because when on the platform of attachment to Krishna, full attachment to Krishna, there's no attachment to anything else. And then the material energy, although it's there, there's no attraction. What was before an attraction is no longer, it's the same thing, it's no difference, but the attraction has been removed due to becoming attracted to Krishna. And that's the only way. Krishna is called Madan Mohan. And that means Madan is Cupid. Cupid is a demigod. Of course, Krishna's son was also Cupid. That was called Yuga. But there's a manifestation in the material energy called Cupid, and he's a demigod. And his business is to attract the man and woman together by creating situations. And so, but Krishna is Madan Mohan, so he can attract Cupid. So one who can attract Cupid is stronger than Cupid. So if you get attracted by Krishna, then you lose your attraction for the playground of Cupid. So that's the idea. To develop our attraction for Krishna. So that comes by, of course, purifying our hearts by hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. But Maya is always there. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto, second chapter, verse 17 and 18. Now read these verses regularly. And Prabhupada said in one lecture, these two verses we should read regularly. Srimvata Swakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Ridantosto Apadrani, Vitanoti Sumitsata, Nasta Prayeshu Apadrashi, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Bhakti Bhagavati Naistiki. Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Sloke, Bhakti Bhagavati Naistiki. The translations too, you already know. Sri Krishna, Paramatma Supersoul, everyone's heart, is the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart, and the devotee was developed the urge to hear his messages when they are properly heard and chanted. Which are themselves virtuous. Messages self-virtuous when properly heard and chanted. So messages about the Supreme Personality of Godhead are virtuous, and when properly heard and chanted, they purify the heart. Well, Prabhupada mentions a very interesting purport, and in that purport, he mentions that wealth and women are two very powerful stumbling blocks, and great stalwart devotees have fallen from the path because of these. He uses the word stalwart. Stalwart means those who have somehow or other climbed very high in their practice of spiritual life, purified their heart. They're not on the perfect path. But somehow they slipped because of either there was still a little attachment or because of inattention. This is another point. If one becomes a little inattentive in the association of these two things, one can become victimized. So therefore, inattention is also a feature which cause one, even who is very serious, to slip. A little inattention. And all of a sudden, one's mind, what happened to Ajahn? Brahman, trained in